Sinclair's got a butt rash. Gabrus wants to know what's up with Superman. And we get schooled about Italians and cinema on today's Last Looks. Hit the theme!
Last looks, motherfucker. All his friends on now. Last looks, motherfucker. Jimmy Street fighting now. Last looks, motherfucker. Jason's Kumite pals. Last looks, motherfucker. How did this get made? Wow. Last looks, motherfucker. Paul Schroefel trauma how? Last looks, motherfucker. Tunic punching robots out. Last looks, motherfucker. Jason's dick is probably out. Last looks, motherfucker. How did this get made? Wow.
Hello, people of Earth, and hello, all my poochies. It's me, Paul Scheer, and welcome to How Did This Get Made? Last Looks. Here's the deal. Yes, we all know this is the episode where you, the audience, get to voice your opinions about Sinbad and the Seven Seas. But did you also know that this is an episode where I'm going to talk to Jon Gabrus about summer movies? And I've seen a couple ones that aren't even out yet. I'm going to give you the inside scoop. Jessica St. Clair talks about her butt rash and how that relates to Eddie Murphy in a deleted scene that will be coming up in just a little bit. Plus, we didn't have time for all the great songs in the live show at Boise. We're going to play you an extra special one in just a little bit. But first and foremost, let me tell you this. Sinbad of the Seven Seas probably should have had the tagline, Sinbad of the Seven Seas, long tails, high sails, and coke nails. And how do I know that? Because Frosted Jafar came up with that tagline. And if you have a tagline like Frosted Jafar did, and it's funny, we'll put it here on the show. You just submit it to our Discord, discord.gg/HDTGM, and I might read it. Okay, people, big episode coming up. Let's break it all down. But first, let's give a big shout out to Latex Drool for that incredible Last Looks opening theme. Now, I love these songs. They're great. I want more of them. I want to meet more Latex Drools. So what do? Well, you just hit us up on our website. You go right to our website, and there's a little area called Submit a Song. You just click that, and you go there. 15 to 20 seconds is best. Now, here's what I need to tell y'all. Our dear Avril Halley has been going through a battle with cancer, and she recently received some very intense treatment for brain cancer, and we are here to support her. We want to send her a lot of love, and that's what she wants right now as well. You can tag Movie Bitches or just DM Movie Bitches wherever you are on social media, whether it's YouTube or Instagram, and she will get them. You can also go to our Discord where we have a mailing address for Avril, or you could just email Andrew at moviebitches.xyz. She's not asking for anything more than fan art, love, good wishes, anything at all to keep her spirits up. We love Avril so much. She's such an integral part of our show. We just want to continue to keep those good wishes, those good spirits flowing towards her. So get better soon, Avril. We're thinking about you every single day. We're going to be in Vancouver in July, so I want to make sure that you get your tickets for our Vancouver show. Tickets are on sale now. Just go to hdtgm.com. Now, I know a lot of people have been asking about this. I ran out of books at the last couple of shows. My paperback is out. It has 20 extra pages. I created a brand new part of my website that has videos from UCB, things that people have never seen before, pictures from my childhood. It's kind of like the show and tell version of my book. It's like if I was Will Smith, my book would have had all that stuff in it, but it's apparently very expensive to produce a book with a lot of pictures in it. So I opted to go the other route, which is to just do it all on my own time on a Squarespace website. That's not an ad. I just did it that way. Jason is on Taskmaster. You can watch that every single week on YouTube or on the Taskmaster app. Now, people, when we were in Boise, we really battled. We battled with an audience that was coming to play a game that we were not totally on board with. We didn't know what that game was. We edited down some of our audience Q&As because they were really just statements and not even about the movie. We love Boise, and the people that came to play were great, but you know what? We need to interrogate this movie a little bit more. So now it is time for Corrections and Omissions.
Sinbad sailed the seven seas, but the real hero is Little Poochie. Corrections and Omissions.
Thank you, Frosted Nebula, for that amazing Corrections and Omissions. Another brand new band. Could it be that we are now letting you submit just via the website? I think this is great. I love it all. Let's go to the Discord. Mitch Kappa, a.k.a. Chunk Style, writes, like Jason, the Lou Ferrigno Hercules movie was big in my childhood, so I noticed immediately that there was a shot in this movie that was lifted straight from Hercules. Ooh, drama. When the camera is down below him as he is swimming in the open water, we see that this film is lifted straight from Hercules. The dead giveaway is, when you look closely at Lou Ferrigno, he has a beard. Well, that is a pretty big, shocking omission. Thank you, Mitch. I did not notice that. Probably was averting my eyes. I can't take a swimming scene. Danny the Wall writes, the crew seemed fascinated with the wizard Nadir and his gibberish and wondered if they missed out on the connection to the Italian theater tradition of commedia dell'arte. Yes, the art goes back to the 1500s and Renaissance time when Italian theater relied on stock characters who we still recognize today. Speaking in gibberish is a key feature of commedia dell'arte, which relies on pantomime and physical comedy. Nadir's actor was Leo Guletta, who seems to have had quite the career in Italian comedy and surely seems to be drawing on these traditions. Okay. Thanks, Danny. These comments are reminding me of why I was afraid of the Boise audience. All right, let's go to the phones.
Hi, Paul. I'm just calling about the most recent episode, the Sinbad episode. You mentioned both Aladdin and the Thief of Baghdad, which I thought was kind of funny because actually I'm pretty sure that Aladdin is inspired more by the Thief of Baghdad than it ever is by the 1001 Nights version of Aladdin. For one thing, the 1001 Nights version of Aladdin starts with Aladdin was a young Chinese boy. So the Disney movie is much more inspired by the Thief of Baghdad, things such as a character named Jafar, a character named Abu, things like that. So, thought the connection was funny, thought I'd mention it.
All right. I like it. I have nothing to add to it, but thank you for that correction. We're learning. I mean, you know what? Sometimes these aren't always about technical gaffes. These are just about taking a moment to better ourselves. Yes, we watch bad movies, but we could also be learning. So now take that nameless person's information and do with it what you will. All right, next up on the phone, let's go.
Hi, Paul. It's Katie from Seattle, but I think anyone listening to this probably knows me better as Jafar from the Boise audience. I have a correction and an omission for you. My correction: a little while after I asked the ageless question, what 82? Audience member Mark asked about Nadir threatening to have Jafar's magician accreditation revoked, with you, Jason, and Jessica all asking, accreditation from who? Well, I think the answer is pretty obvious. That has to be the function of the Baghdad fraternity. But that brings up even more questions, because apparently evil sorcerers are jumping through bureaucratic hoops and, paying dues to keep their accreditation active. That doesn't make much sense. As for the omission, I seriously can't believe we didn't talk about the horse coming out of the gravel pit and then getting choked out by Sinbad a few minutes later. My note for that part said, I'm glad June wasn't here because I'm pretty fucking sure they actually buried a horse in gravel. Anyway, thanks again for a great time in Boise. I can't wait to hear the Seattle episode. And you know what? I'll see you guys in Vancouver. Take care. Bye.
Katie, killer question, but killer costumes. This person came dressed up at our shows, 2 of our shows on the road, and now threatens, but I mean in a nice way, to be there once again. A reminder to everybody, please wear your costumes when you come out to the show. It makes it so much fun for us. And you bet your ass they buried a horse in gravel, okay? No PETA in sight on these films at all. I do appreciate you breaking down some of the magician accreditation on this. I do want to get more into that. That should be a spec script that I'm writing. I'm just part of the magician. I'm next to the Ministry of Magic. I'm doing a lot of I gotta get this accreditation. They got they did some summer credits. I love just the put upon accreditation of Magic School. Again, I will be in the HBO Max spinoff. I bet. but then I'll get it and I'll feel really conflicted because I'm like, JK, I can't really support her point of view. And then I have to make a statement about it, but then I'm going to feel really conflicted. And the people in my life are like, what are you doing? I'm like, all right, I won't do it. I won't be the accredited magician character in the brand new Harry Potter series, even though I feel like it was a role built for me. Oh, man. And I said no to Devil Wears Prada 2 at this point. I'm really just spiraling. Yeah, I will be playing the Meryl Streep character in Devil Wears Prada 2. Anyway, what do we got next? Oh, my gosh. Carrie, the librarian.
Hey, guys. It's Carrie, the librarian. I am calling regarding your question about volcanoes, lava, and magma. So you were wondering if lava exists independent of volcanoes, and it does. It can come through cracks and fissures, both on land and underwater. The ones underwater are what cause tectonic plate shifting. The lava comes out and pushes the plates away from each other. Pretty cool. Regarding magma, however, interestingly, lava and magma have a very, very minor definitional difference. They are both molten rock. However, a volcano has magma inside of it, but once it erupts out of it, it is spewing lava. Underground, magma. Overground, lava. Have a great day.
That's the kind of knowledge that I need. It's like stalactites and stalagmites, which I don't actually remember now. But I get this from Carrie. Carrie the librarian, way to go. Just another reminder to get our great library shirt from this show. You just go and get it in our merch store. I love it. The Sucra and Pucci shirt, which is one of my favorite shirts that we have made on this entire tour. All right, let's go back to the Discord. Nikki the Gnome. This is going to go beyond what this film is about, but Italian cinema is fascinating, and there's so much gold for a show, like How Did This Get Made, to mine from it. In the post-war period in Italy, wages grew by 50% during this period. Only a few Italian households had TVs, something like 20%, and that changed by the 80s, and that number jumped to 80%. So that's why there are so many films being produced. When you have a relatively young population with money to burn and only a few places to spend it for entertainment, they invariably head to the theaters, which were more ubiquitous. Sinbad, being filmed in 82, was chasing the second wave of Pepla films coming from America, namely Conan, Clash of the Titans. It's coming out in the 80s. It must have just been bizarre since it was already out of vogue as a genre piece in the States. Well, look, again, Nikki the Gnome, just dropping knowledge. We're learning in this episode, and that's not a bad thing. Put us in the educational podcast category for this last looks. Okay, the angriest Heike writes, Paul asked if Sinbad existed in a post-Old Testament world. Yes, the original 1001 Nights, which we understand there's an issue with, were compiled during the Islamic Golden Age, though there are elements that go back to ancient Sanskrit fables. Wow. Sometimes this is what happens, and this is kind of the Boise effect on this show. Different than what we were expecting. Not bad. Different. Learned a lot. And you know what? Let's just thank everybody for that. And let's end our learning by looking at some actors. We're going to round it out here because Ryan says has been keeping some How Did This Get Made stats, and he wants you to know Lou Ferrigno has been on the show 3 times. Sharknado 3, Hercules, and Sinbad of the Seven Seas. Luigi Cozzi, the director, 3 appearances, Hercules and Star Crash, and Sinbad. Well, there we go. Not that much. Not numbers really worth sharing. But why am I keeping it? I don't know, because now I'm on this page. I don't know. I'm not going to say so many great corrections and omissions this week. I mean, there were some interesting ones. But yeah. We could also have a little spin on it. I mean, I'm learning. I feel good. I feel good about where I am, but maybe I don't feel that good. I don't know. I don't know where I'm at. I don't know where I'm at with this, with how I felt. You know what? I'm going to say this. Katie from Seattle, who came in costume, you're the winner because you brought up something that no one talked about, that yes, they buried a horse in gravel. And I haven't thought about that. And that made me think of it a little bit differently. So Katie from Seattle, you are our winner. John Astonish and Trey, give her what she deserves, which is a song. And that's it. Nothing more than this song. Hit it. You win. You win. How did this get made? You win. How did this get made? You win. Okay, as always, if you want to chime in with your own thoughts about the latest episode, hit up the Discord at discord.gg/HDTGM or call us at 619-PAULASK. Coming up after the break, John Gabrus will stop by to chat about summer movies. But first, let's take a listen to the bonus deleted scene. Oh, this is a good one. From our Sinbad of the Seven Seas episode, where we talk about Jessica's experience with Eddie Murphy and her butt rash. Yep, you heard me right. Take a listen to this deleted scene.
Can I just tell one story about Eddie Murphy?
Yeah, sure.
Eddie Murphy has somebody who
Okay, wait a
travels
second.
with
Before
him.
you say that, we're cutting this out.
Yeah, cut this
You
out.
don't have to. I put it in a book.
Okay.
All right.
I put it in the book, The Art of Small Talk. Eddie Murphy has a man that travels with him. You know, Paul.
Yes.
That I call fake Eddie Murphy. He looks exactly like Eddie Murphy. And he does a lot of his
I
press
call him
appearances. What do you
Ebby
call him?
Murphy.
Okay, Ebby Murphy. But he looks exactly like Eddie Murphy.
I was on a line to get food, and I was like, this is so cool. Eddie Murphy's getting like food with the rest of the cast. Nope.
No.
It was Eddie Murphy.
I did a scene, I think I'm with real Eddie Murphy. I look to the shadows, there's fake Eddie. No, I'm with fake Eddie Murphy. I see the real Eddie Murphy peeking out, watching. He doesn't come on until time. Anyway.
But can you tell the reveal of that story?
When I was talking about my vagina
Yeah.
okay.
And I love that Paul knew it. Paul knew to set up the vagina story. And we're all grateful. Aren't we, Boise?
Anyway, so I get into the van to go back. Now, Eddie Murphy has his own like double-decker trailer.
Yes.
He would not be in the van with you, but I thought so. There's fake Eddie Murphy, I think, in the passenger seat, and I get a call from my gynecologist. I'd had a rash that had been resistant to several creams. And I was awaiting the results of what kind of microbe was growing in between my ass cheeks. So she's delivering me this information.
Book?
Yes.
Is this part of the book?
Yes, this is the truth of life. So I go, well, it's good to know what's in my asshole, but is that cream going to work? Well,
So you
we
took
get
the
out.
call. You took the call in the van?
I took the call, thinking it was fake Eddie Murphy.
Full
Yes.
of other people.
I wasn't
You
going to
took a-
get the doctor again for another couple days.
You took a call in a packed
I
van
could barely
about your
sit down.
ass rash?
Things were so bad. Anyway, we get out of the car, and then we get onto set, and I realized it was real Eddie Murphy the whole time in that car.
Eddie
I can't
Murphy
wait till-
heard you talk about the ass rash that Lou Ferrigno
Yes.
gave you.
I wish.
I
All right,
wi-
anyway,
I
get
can't-
back to the movie.
I
But
can't
that's
wait until Eddie Murphy's on this show and he tells the same story from the other side. And then we're like, we know her. And he's like, is she okay?
I will say
sometimes
this.
you wear your yoga pants too long. That's it.
Really?
That's a cautionary tale.
You should. That's an easy one you should be able to avoid. You
Now
should
I know. Now I know. Anyway, moving on.
Oh, Boise.
That's just Eddie Murphy's story for you. Okay.
All right.
But
so,
can I
yes,
say
please,
one thing?
Say whatever you
Oh,
like.
please, you. Please.
Can I say one thing?
You're
I
the one talking. You're asking yourself if you can say one thing because you've only interrupted yourself. By the time we get to Portland, Paul and I won't even be on stage. It's
Good.
It's just St. Clair for 4 hours.
Like a one-woman show at the
Just
Lane
showing,
Stritch.
showing videos of her ass rash.
And selling yoga pants in the lobby.
Heavily used yoga pants. That's a fetish.
Welcome back. By now, I'm sure you've noticed that every week we re-release old How Did This Get Made episodes back into our feed. These matinee episodes come out every Tuesday. This week's matinee was Hercules in New York with Abby Jacobson. Next week's will be a Jean-Claude Van Damme classic, Bloodsport, with Nicole Byer. So keep on checking out all of our replays every Tuesday. And without any further ado, let's talk to our friend, our good buddy, John Gabrus, who recently joined me on Unspooled with the Action Boys to talk about John Wick 4. Suffice to say, they do not like it. It's a fun episode. If you've not listened to Unspooled in a while, check that out. But he is here talking about his brand new podcast, Staying Alive with Adam Pally, which is a new must subscribe, must listen, must follow. But Gabrus, a legend, high and mighty, amazing show. Gino Lombardo, fantastic. We've worked together for many years, and there's one thing that Gabrus and I love: summer movies, and we're going to talk about all of that. And I've seen a couple ones that John didn't know I saw and that I'm revealing for the very first time here. So enjoy it.
Jason and Paul, just chat. June and Paul, just chat. Tall John Shear, just chat. How did this get made? Last look, just chat.
John, last time we saw you, you were eating a live spider on stage at Largo during the Torque episode.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I forgot. A spider dropped down from the ceiling and June and I made eye contact that we both saw it. And for some reason, my impetus was to stand up and bite it out of the sky. Hands free.
It was very much like an 80s movie moment. Like I felt like it was like, oh man, this guy eats live spiders. It was probably the most exciting thing that happens. I tell people
watching Torque, it's certainly more exciting than watching Torque.
I was telling people all the time, I'm like, you don't have to take out your phones during live shows. Nothing is going to happen. But then I forget that did happen.
Something can happen. Yeah.
You and I just spent a long time last week talking about John Wick 4 on Unspooled, which is the podcast we don't talk about on How Did This Get Made, but it just gave me a greater appreciation of all the things that I love about Action Boys, which is one, you have a podcast empire, and one of your podcasts.
Hey, I learned from the best. I learned from my fellow 131 Long Islanders. I'm just jumping in the, standing on the shoulders of, well, they're not giants. They're smaller than me, but they're there. Paul Scheer.
It's such a blast to hear you guys talk. I was putting a piece of Action Boys into the Unspooled newsletter of you guys breaking down Clubber Lang's apartment from Rocky, because he mentioned it, and I was like, I gotta find that. And it was just Clubber Lang dealing with bad roommates, trying to bring a woman over there to have sex with. It's one of the best parts of the Action Boys, just the tangents and stuff.
Yeah, and it's always fun to talk to you about movies, and then John Wick 4, and in classic movie head fashion, we talk about it on your podcast, the one that Voldemort won't be named, but we then text about it after, and it's just not enough. The 2 hours that you edit down, that you have to edit and get taken care of, it's still not enough. We still have to text like, wait, I just saw this new Tom Cruise clip, or John Wick talking about blah blah blah. Yeah.
I literally was going to send you all, I wanted to get you all in a text message, and I was like, we've just talked about this for 2 hours. I can't do it. But it's always a blast, and I gotta tell you, your new podcast, Staying Alive, has been. I just love it. It's in my rotation now. It's you and Pally.
Hell yeah.
Talking
one of our most recent episodes is the wonderful Paul Scheer as a guest, which was
I love that guy.
Yeah. I'm a big fan.
But no, it's such a fun podcast. Let people know what it's about, instead of me pitching it. But
it's a health and wellness podcast hosted by the physically unhealthy and the mentally unwell of me and Adam Pally, two guys who are on a journey to try to live longer and undo some damage we've done in the past. And we thought, what better way than to monetize it by talking to both health and fitness experts. Another thing that people don't talk about is once you're in your mid 30s, all of your conversations, even with comedians, is about oh yeah, I'm doing Tai Bo at home, or oh, do you not do hot yoga? Oh shit, I hike 3 times, because we just eventually get into this I'm an acai bowl guy now,
Yes.
Everyone gets into these things, so we realize it's we should have these conversations with all of our friends who are smart, interesting, funny people who are also pursuing health and wellness, because we're all growing up. We haven't had any young people on the pod on purpose.
Well, I think it's interesting because you're always struggling to figure out what can you do. There's this whole idea of biohacking, the guy who's aging at 1/3 the rate of everybody else. And it gets mentally overwhelming because I'll do that. I'll sleep in cold sheets. I'll go over here. And I think the thing that I love about your show is it's not prescriptive. You're not trying to be gurus. You're just talking about things, and hopefully at the end of it, with a mix of people what was that guy that you had on? Was it Dr.
Dr. Radowitz? Yeah,
yes.
The ketamine therapist. We're not saying you should do this therapy, but we are learning more about it. And me and Adam left wanting to do that therapy. I mean, probably just wanting to do ketamine, but yeah, the therapy.
Why not?
Yeah, throw that on top. Why not?
But I mean, you are talking to I think that's the fun of the show is you're talking to somebody who works
this week's
for the
episode.
NIH.
Is an NIH immunologist, and we ended up talking to her for way too long about omakase. Like, that's how stupid our show is.
Well, I am a fan, and produced by former How Did This Get Made producer Devin Bryant.
Yes,
we love.
We got Devin in the. That's why our theme song rips so hard. Yeah,
one of the greats. Made many How Did This Get Made theme song as well. It's summer, and I'm excited about these movies that are coming out.
Bro, me too. It feels like we turned a corner after the last couple of months. Yeah,
I know. And I was talking about this. I don't know if you and I talked about this yet, but I got to see Naked Gun, which comes out in August.
Awesome.
I saw a sneak peek of it. It's great. It's really funny.
I trust the people who made it. They're buds, and it's like, it seems fun. The trailer that's playing before, I saw it on IMAX, the trailer on IMAX before Final Reckoning, and the crowd went apeshit for it.
It really captures to me the jokey style of Naked Gun, which I haven't seen in a movie in such a long time.
Right.
And then it also has not those style jokes as well. It kind of balances both, but it feels like a true sequel, which I think is the hardest thing to do.
Yeah, I'm so intrigued. I can't fucking wait to see it.
Yeah, I think you're gonna really, you really like it. And I went in there knowing I like all the people involved, but I laughed like genuinely hard laughs throughout. So that's coming out August 1st. So I'm excited about that. I'm
excited about that. Have you seen, speaking of hard laughs in the theater, have you seen Friendship?
This is the movie that I've been dying to see, and I'm a father of two, and I'm currently single parenting because my wife is away shooting the Elwoods
prequel or Poquel,
yes, and so I want to go see it, but I want to see it at night when there'll be a packed theater. I don't want to see it during the day. I've had a few moments where should I go see it? I can go see an action movie during the day. It'll be fine. It's fun. But I want to see that with like people around me laughing because I've only heard it's like the best way to be seen.
It's such a funny fucking movie. People are so primed to laugh at Tim, which is because he's a brilliant genius. But I think You Should Leave has pierced pop culture so hard that people are showing up that the first time we see his face on camera in the movie, the whole theater I was in started laughing. Like they were just so fucking excited. I went on like a random Tuesday night at like 9:00 and it was full at Century City. And dude, the movie is funny. It carries. Connor O'Malley's great in it. Tim is amazing in it. Kate Mara is great in it. It's a real treat. It's beautiful, and the sound and the score is awesome too. Like Andrew DeYoung, I don't know Andy DeYoung. I don't know him, but he's like in the comedy world. It's fucking gorgeous. It's crazy. Comedies don't look like that. And then it's so joke heavy and character based jokes on like Tim's interesting character, Craig. It's so fucking good.
I'm so excited that somebody was telling me this story, and I'm going to maybe mess up the anecdote, but it was basically like that score is from an album called like Cocktail Music, and it was a Japanese album. It was for people in Japan to put on when they had cocktail parties. Like that, is that something like,
I think the anecdote, and maybe we both heard this from Ben Rogers because this is who I heard it from.
It is. Yes, that's who I heard it from. Yes.
Like whatever the artist's name is, it's like Yoshimori. This makes me sound racist trying to guess it, so I'm not going to do that. But it's given as a housewarming gift traditionally in Japan, the album.
Okay.
And I've been listening to the artist like nonstop, and it's very like ambient Japanese kind of electro pop, and it's really great. And that's chunks of that is used from the score, according to Rogers. I'm quoting him.
Yeah, I mean we're both quoting the same.
We're on source. and both of us have different interpretations, and we don't even know if he's right.
But you know what? All I know is that Ben bought that album after. Now I will say there's so much good stuff coming up my friend is a producer, and he made How to Train Your Dragon, and I saw an early cut of it before the effects were done, and I gotta say that also was very, very good.
I'm excited for that. I like the first one. I like the animated one. My only complaint, and you can take this out depending on how your friend feels about it, is if you're calling it live action, give me a puppet Toothless. I'm sorry. Like, I don't think
I hear what you're saying.
Like, I say go fully, and like it maybe it doesn't look as great as you think it does, but I think if you're calling it live action, and that's my whole complaint with all the Disney live action, where it's like, if you have a digital lion, it just looks more realistic than the Mufasa drawing. That doesn't count as live action. That's my only issue. Yeah.
No, I have that same issue. I think that you could never ride the dragon no matter what. Like, unless you're doing it.
We're talking fucking fishing lines, models. We can figure it out.
I was going to say, you're going to do it like Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind, like that. What's his name? Oh, no.
Michel Gondry.
Yeah. If you do it the Gondry way, like, I would like to see the Gondry version of How to Train Your Dragon. I think it would be kind of cool. Like, you have you could do it all puppetry. It would be great. But I will say that seeing it regular, Gerard Butler's in it. I mean,
I fucking love Gerard. You know how much I love Gerard Butler. I know how much you do. And I'm so fucking excited.
What else is jumping out to you? I would say that
Fire and Ash. Of course.
Yes.
I'm not even sure. That might not even be till like the winter. I'm not even sure when it comes out, but it's, I don't know what exact the release date is, but that's the next thing I'm super hyped about. It looks like it's not till December. It's our Christmas movie. So,
but we can get excited for Christmas as well. I'll tell you the things that are like on my radar. F1. I have no interest in that style of racing, but that trailer, I was like, sold, I'm in.
It's funny that you haven't gotten caught up in Formula One, just based on like how polymathic your tastes are, that and how many of our friends are really into Formula One. Like, so many mutuals are so into it. Not at all, but I am very into Brad Pitt. So what's the guy's name who directed Top Gun or Maverick?
It's Kaminsky.
It's Kaminsky. He's Joseph Kaminsky. It's so good. It's I like his style. I love Brad Pitt, so I'll be hyped for F1.
By the way, did you see Thunderbolts?
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really good.
I thought it was better than I thought it was going to be.
Yes.
And not that we're supposed to be comparing these movies, but so much better than the Harrison Ford President Hulk
that
movie.
Was a rough one.
That one I went to like going like not expecting much, and it landed around there. I thought Mackie did an okay job. He wasn't like, his acting wasn't the problem. I just didn't care about the story or anything like that.
Yeah, it felt like weirdly
But on
rushed.
Thunderbolts, it felt weirdly rushed. All the Giancarlo Esposito stuff felt like it was shot like on an iPhone on another
Which
day.
was the case. Like, he was not in the movie until the reshoots. Like, and it's like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
There's a great moment where he's like, let me go talk to him alone. It's like, wait, why? He's a bad guy. Oh, okay, I guess because we can't get everyone back for reshoots. But I really enjoyed Thunderbolts. I thought that all those characters were really fun. I like the idea that like none of them could fly or had like really interesting powers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it made it for like a fun, and it's true. Like, you kind of run out of like, how do we end these in the third act? And I think like making it like a weird emotional escape room, kind of like it. I don't know if it's my favorite ending, but it's just made it feel different than everything else we've been watching for a couple
What
of years.
it felt like to me was the way a comic book might be, because it's a very it's a
little
heady
ending. Yeah. You could see like the panels going like, meanwhile, and it's like Red Guardian dealing with his nightmare world or whatever.
So I just love that someone said, we can have this take place in a emotional escape room in your mind. It's like, great.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it got to the point of what you want, which is, I think, honestly, like, just connections among these people.
Right.
It's not like just beating the shit out of an alien, like, it's like, which we know.
And Florence Pugh, I'm not saying anything no one doesn't know. She's a fucking movie star. She is so hot. She's so talented. She's funny. She moves well in the action sequences. It is just like, I'm not saying anything, but she's something special. Like, that's not new. Yeah.
I can't get over it. I'm excited about it. Like, I was like,
I didn't like Black Widow at all. And I thought her and Harbour were so good in Thunderbolts.
I feel like they got a second chance to do something. And also talking about like, who wasn't that Brave New World, when they brought back Bucky, I was like, oh, what a bummer of a cameo that he has. And then in this, I'm like, this is it.
He's great in this. Yeah, he's great in this. It's such a like, the cast is fucking awesome. Pullman's son is great. Whatever. As Sentry.
Now, Superman is the one that I feel like is the biggest question mark for me, because I've seen a lot of trailers with a dog, and I'm like, that doesn't seem like it's what I want to see. I have a lot of faith in James Gunn. James Gunn taking a little bit of flack recently because I guess they found some Facebook posts where he was shitting on Nolan Batman movies, saying these are not good Batman movies. So he definitely has an uphill battle. He's got to save this entire, like, the DC universe on the back of Superman.
I know, but I will say I liked Peacemaker. I liked his Suicide Squad.
I think he's got a track record that works.
I will say this. I will be glad that the weekend that Superman's coming out, I will be there opening weekend and will be happy to see a big movie that isn't Star Wars or Marvel. Now, I know it's also a comic book movie, but just the fact that it just feels like I'm watching at least like the first one of that, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm looking very forward to sitting down and just even like in the trailer, seeing the Fortress of Solitude, like snow stuff. You're like, this already just looks different than other stuff. I'm so stoked to go check.
I'm always a fan of his stuff, and I think I'm better being a fan when I'm like, I don't know what to expect of it. I feel like that's how I feel about every one of his films. I'm like, all right, we'll see. Like Guardians of the Galaxy 3, I was like, oh, whoa, okay, this is different than I thought. And same thing for Peacemaker. Like I've liked everything, but I always go in going, I don't know. And I think that's a good way to go in instead of expectation super high. No, it's going to be the best, you know? And I'm like, because he kind of hits you from the side. And I feel like he's got to, for this movie, deliver trailers and a tone that does not show you much of anything. It's almost like, come on in, trust me, by the end of the meal, you're going to leave feeling like that was a great meal, but I can't tell you too much of what we're serving before you're sitting down and ordering.
I kind of like to just show up hungry and go like, I'm going to be happy with whatever I get, but I'm excited to be surprised.
Yes,
as well.
I feel that way.
I'm more like I love the John Wick movies, but I'm more excited for Superman than I am for Ballerina. You know what I mean? Just because Ballerina seems like more of the same, and not in a bad way. Give me more of my favorite food. I don't care. But Superman just looks like it's going to be something a little different.
I'm curious about Ballerina. I'm coming into Ballerina with an expectation that might be fake. First of all, I realized for a very long time, I was thinking that this is a continuation of a character that was introduced in John Wick. And I realized, no, that is her character in James Bond that I'm thinking of.
Right. And she's awesome.
Great. Yeah. And I was very excited about that. And I was like, oh, okay, so this is something different. And then knowing it's a ballerina, I'm like thinking about Scarlett Johansson and her whole kind of like in that society of like, you know, and I'm like, so look, those guys make great action movies. I think that we know that you can do great action. I have not yet felt the need to go see it, besides, I guess, maybe seeing a little bit more of John Wick and Lance Reddick, who is back in this because he shot it before.
Back from the dead. Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, this is crazy. They shot this before
John Wick
4 or
that seems crazy. Or at least it takes place before.
Well, I mean, but Lance Reddick shot his scenes at the same time he was shooting John Wick 4, and John Wick 4 feels old.
Came out a year ago, a year and a half ago, easily. Yeah.
So I'm interested.
What about Fantastic Four?
Again, question mark. I don't know.
I give it the same thing I give Superman. I appreciate that it looks different. I have less confidence in this than I do in Superman, but I will be seated because I love cousin Eben Moss Bachrach. I think he's so good in everything. And like Pedro Pascal, obviously, and Vanessa Kirby. I love her.
I was talking about Vanessa Kirby. I think one of the most underrated performances. And then you're never going to give it an award, but in Mission Impossible 7, when they're on the train and she is in the
acting as Grace,
I'm like, this is truly like one of those times where I'm like, oh, that's Haley Atwell it worked.
You believe the mask stuff.
Yes.
So I'm excited about Fantastic Four. I like the fact that it like looks a little different.
Yes.
And this is here's another movie that I'm like, we'll wait and see. Happy Gilmore 2. I'm just really curious.
I want it to be great.
I trust Newacek so much. I love Sandler's straight to Netflix stuff isn't going straight to Netflix because it's not funny.
Right.
Like his other shit.
No, it's the only thing I
love The Wrong Missy. It's like, I don't care about comedy sequels, but Sandler has a higher hit rate than almost anyone else that in the comedy world that I would trust.
My kids are so pumped about it.
That's good. That's cool. Yeah.
I went to a taping of one of Sandler's, the last Netflix special. And I was up in the green room and I was talking to Tim Herlihy, who wrote it, and he got me excited for it. Like, I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
Like, it doesn't feel like they have to make this movie in any way, right? It's like, it's not a desperation attempt. I feel like there's something real there.
It's not a cash in. We know Sandler doesn't need like a random paycheck. It's not,
Yes.
There's no desperation there.
This is what I will say that I heard that I think is a good sign. Someone saw a test of it that was over 2 hours, and they were like, it's really funny and it's really good. The hardest thing is going to be, what do they keep in and what do they take out? So if you're watching Happy...
I like that inside scoop. Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
If you're watching Happy Gilmore at 2.5 hours and feeling like, oh, it's really good, it's like, I wonder what it will be, because it will never be, it will be a 90-minute movie. Like,
It'll be 100 minutes on Netflix.
Yeah.
I'm sure,
that to me makes me go, good. Like you get worried because we've both been to screenings and tests, and you hear like stuff like, they're gonna find it.
You get caught up. You get caught up in the house too.
Yeah.
Like like you see a premiere of a movie and everyone who's worked on it is there, and it's like electric, and you're a little buzzed, and you're like, and then when you like recommend it to friends, you're like, okay, yeah, I saw it in the best way you could possibly.
Well, this is the thing that bums me out about Happy Gilmore too, which is like, I'm not gonna get to see this in a theater. All I want to do is see this movie in a theater.
It's almost like we should be coordinating with a friend who's got like a big movie situation in their house.
Yes.
And we should all go over and watch it. Like 20 of us should watch it at someone's house.
I feel like, because it's like, that's the best part of those movies. It's like,
and here's me just trying to get invited to your house. I'm like, yeah, one of us should throw a party. One of us.
All I want is to have a theater like that. Like June and I were like, I'm like, it would be the best thing. We have one friend who has it and he's always out of town. I'm like, I want to use it. Can I tell you the movie that I think is going to blow your mind? This is the one. I saw this one, so I can speak to it confidently. Weapons.
Oh, bro, I'm very excited about Weapons. I'm very excited about
Weapons. Zach Kreger's follow-up to Barbarian. I will not say a word about it.
Please don't. I don't even want to know a thing about it. I went into Barbarian not even seen the trailer, and it was such an amazing. I haven't even seen the trailer for Weapons yet. I'm trying to avoid. I'll catch it by accident on some point in the theater, but I'm trying so hard to know nothing about the movie.
I will say nothing about it, but to say, bravo. It was a movie that also, like, Jude and I talked about, like, for days after. Like, it was just like one of those. So again, I knew nothing. I was surprised at every little bit of it. I'm psyched for him. And I'm psyched that, like, I think it's just announced that he's doing Resident Evil now. Like, right? He's that's
cool.
like his next film. So I'm like, oh, whoa. Like, he's putting it together in a really, really cool way.
Yeah, I'm really hyped for that, for Weapons. It looks really exciting. Like, that makes me very Zach, I can't believe like a guy from The Whitest Kids You Know is like who I'm most excited about in like the authorship like filmmaking world. Yeah.
When you look at him and Jordan going, like, these are guys that were doing like sketch comedy less than 5 years ago.
And they were so good. They were so good at that you couldn't even imagine that they flipped to becoming like these kind of guys.
I know.
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. So I won't say anymore, but I will say that that's coming out in August. And that's my little sneak peek of it is very, very good.
I'm stoked for the highest to lowest.
What's that?
Just rattling up. That's the new Spike Lee that Denzel's in.
Yeah.
And it's like a remake of a movie. I don't know any details, but Spike and Denzel working together has just got me excited, and people are saying it's great.
All right. Well, then I mean, look, I will always go see a Spike Lee movie, and I feel like I like them more when they are like a little genre-y. Like, I feel like he can really nail genre. And I think people don't think about Spike Lee like that, but like The Inside Man, I always it's one of the best.
That's one of my favorite Spikes for sure.
What do you think about Fast 10 Part 2? Are we ever going to get Fast 10 Part 2? Because we just saw Mission Impossible, the final reckoning has come out, and that was a Part 2, but not really a Part 2. It was kind of billed. I mean, the narrative around that movie has changed a little bit. Like, it was going to be 1 and 2. Now Fast 10 Part 2, I am losing faith that this is ever going to happen.
I'm losing a little faith in it too, but Vin won't let it drop.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, Vin is a businessman.
Right.
He is posting like crazy about it, and like pictures of him and Helen Mirren, pictures of him and old cast members saying that the script is where it's at, this, that, the other thing. Yeah. See, look, his Instagram is all this kind of shit. And like he's making it seem like the movie's made already. We know it's not even like written.
No.
But we know that he's like, it's locked in. We got it. And I talked about this with fellow fast head Griffin Newman at length, but at the Emmys, was it?
Yeah.
Or the Oscars, when he's like, hey, Dwayne.
Yeah.
And that is just, they're doing wrestling like kayfabe to each other that will at some point culminate in The Rock making a deal for Fast 10 Part 2 and them doing some big like, well, brother, we decided, and making it seem like they're going to give The Rock like the feeling that he got it greenlit. They're going to like, it's the marketing, the behind the scenes pseudo marketing is happening as we speak. I believe
what you need is for both guys to be low enough to have to agree to do it. And
we might be there if the Safdie movies with The Rock, if that Safdie movie with The Rock doesn't do what we hope it does for The Rock.
And even if it does, it's going to be an indie.
I'm not 100% confident in Dwayne Johnson.
It's going to be an indie. It's not going to be the one that is going to bring him back into like, I think if anything, it will be like Uncut Gems in the greatest success, which is a great thing. But that Uncut Gems is not like it's not like Welcome to Blockbuster. Sandler can go in and out, but I don't think that helps him ultimately.
Right. It just gives him a little bit of like real acting cred, and The Rock could use like a couple of doses of that in his resume because it's just been so fucking blockbuster, aiming for blockbusters and failing at times. It's just too much.
But there's this weird thing where it's like you put this fucking cliffhanger in, and everything I've been reading that Vin Diesel's been saying has been stuff like, oh man, we're going back to basics. We're going back to basics. It's back to California. I'm like, great, but you can't go back to basics when you've ended the last one on a cliffhanger of you driving down the side of a dam. Like everything about
that's blowing up. Yeah. It's so crazy thinking about how that last one ended. Like probably one of my least favorite of the franchise.
Yeah.
But it is also the back to basics thing. Saying that now is a solid rebrand of huge budget cut. Also.
100%. And this is
back to basics is just like, look, Cena's not coming back. So-and-so's not coming back. So-and-so's not coming back.
It's going to be us.
We're back to basics.
Me that's it. Like, it's going to be me.
Tej and Roman.
Yeah. And like, well, here's the thing that I worry about. I don't know if you ever picked up on this, but like, there was a time when Bruce Willis would talk about Die Hard after like Die Hard 3. And I remember this quote. It was like Bruce Willis on the stoop with Kevin Smith, and Kevin Smith was interviewing him probably during the making of Cop Out or something like that.
Yeah.
And Bruce is like, what people never got was, reason why people love Die Hard is because the New Jersey sense of humor of John McClane. And I was like, oh, no, that's not why we like Die Hard.
I don't even associate McClane with New Jersey.
No. And that was like, to me, a clarion call of like,
that's so funny. Like I assumed he was like a New York
cop. I think that Bruce Willis is from New Jersey. He's like, well, so it's like, so like, I think that there's these moments where these actors sit with these characters for too long and they start to overanalyze their impact on film. It's like, yeah, the reason why people like Jaws is because, his cultural hatred of the 4th of July being a tourist, we're not celebrating independence. It's like, no. And it's like,
we like the music and the fact that we don't see a shark for a while. Like, that's sorry, but that's what
so I think that people get their heads up their own ass in these things. And I think that I hope, and this is why
for sure
you think the idea of putting Fantastic Four in the 60s, that feels fun. It's like, all right, we're not worried about MCU shit. And that, I like that. With Superman, we're just kind of jumping ahead. It feels like, it doesn't feel like we're starting in from scratch, which is great. We've already seen that story. It's like what I said was good about Naked Gun. It's like, give me the thing that I want, but just but inject some new stuff in there that I didn't know I needed. It's like, we're trying so hard to reinvent the wheel. It's like, no, I want the wheel. Just give me new
rims.
Yeah, new rims. Yeah.
Well, it is kind of like, give the audience what you want, but also as the creator, make what you want too. See if there's find that middle ground. You know what I mean?
Well, and I think the problem is like they're thinking too much. It's like, what is my character? What is Tej? I'm like, we don't care. We don't care. We just want you to be the guy who's on the computer.
Just have him make fun of Roman once, and just then then hack into the fucking DOD.
We don't need the bigger backstory now. We will see what we will get. All that to be said, before we get Fast 10, part 2, we will get Kojak. Vin Diesel as Kojak.
Oh man, who loves you, baby? That's a great.
And, and I just hope. I hope. I'm into that. I'm into that a lot. All right, so John, we can find you on Action Boys podcast. We can find you on Staying Alive, wherever you get your podcasts. Anything you have, shows, anything else that we could...
I would just throw out that I did 30 episodes of the Gino Lombardo Show.
This is great. I love this. Yeah, go ahead.
And I'm selling it now as like a collectible cassette tape that's really a USB drive with all 30 tracks on it. 3 seasons. Each season has its own arc. Insane guests, including Anthony Scaramucci and like Sarah Sherman and a lot of fun people. Yes, I said Scaramucci.
Yeah, it is wild. And it's also just a great, if you're a collector of things.
Yeah. I hired this great Long Island artist, Ian Cinco, to make me like a Jerky Boys inspired kind of, and he's a Long Island guy, and it's got a lot of cool shit on it. You can get it for sale at gino.gabrus.com. I'm getting back into physical media personally.
I love it.
I blew money at the Criterion sale. I'm just getting back into it, so I'm like, fuck it. I wanted to make something physical for people to buy too.
I love it. I just bought that Criterion 40 box set. Where it's like it celebrates the 40 years of Criterion. So it's like every Criterion. I bought it around Christmas time and it was on sale for like $375. And it's 40 films it's like, and I'm like, and I had 3, but I didn't have like I was like, great, I'm buying it. It was
hell yeah.
It's awesome. It's a beautiful case and everything.
I got like an 8-pack of Bruce Lee movies
so
and
I have
Police
that
Story
one.
1 and 2,
yeah.
Thief. I got
so
couple
good.
Good ones.
Deep Cover is a recent acquisition from the Criterion, which is great.
Oh, I got Heaven's Gate, a movie I've never seen but been meaning to watch. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna buy the Criterion to watch for the first time. Yeah.
All right, Gabrus, so good to talk to you. I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, will do. Later, bud.
Thank you, Gabrus, for just chatting with me. Now it's time to finally announce our next movie. Next week, we are going from Sailing the Seven Seas to Getting Served. That's right. Next week, we'll be watching the 2004 movie You Got Served. That's right. A lot of people in it. A lot of dancing in it. You're going to love it. Here's a short breakdown of the plot. In order to achieve their dream of opening a recording studio, 2 friends, David and Elgin, must first win their city's dance contest. Yes, a normal thing that happens. But it's a fierce competition that pits them against a group of very tough street dancers. I guess that's the premise. Here's what I'm going to say. It's fucking great. Rotten Tomatoes gives this film a 14% on the tomato meter. Break the meter! Because they don't know what they're talking about. Nell Minow from Common Sense Media says, dubious plot, good dancing? Well, you know what? Let's take a listen to the trailer.
They were the best of friends.
I know you better than anybody. I know when you tripping. What's up?
I'm not like you, D. I can't just sit around and dream.
Their crew was unstoppable.
We just got a $5,000 challenge from some rich kid out of Orange County. Do this again sometime. Get on my face. What's the matter with you? No fight!
You just mad. Because tonight you suckers got served.
You can stream You Got Served for free on Tubi. In addition, I also encourage you to check out Hoopla, Canopy, and Libby, which are digital media services offered by your local public library that allow you to consume movies, TV, music, audiobooks, ebooks, and comics for free. All right, people, that's it. That's all for Last Looks. If you listen on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please remember to rate and review the show. I'm going to say it again. If you listen on Apple and Spotify, rate and review the show. It helps us. It's free. You don't have to do anything besides that. Just make sure you're following us and have automatic downloads turned on. These things help. All right. We want you to know that we are keeping the conversation going in our Discord always, but we also are on social media, and you can follow us everywhere on social media at HDTGM. All of our links to everything can be found at hdtgm.com. And a big thank you to our producers, Scott Sani, Molly Reynolds, our movie-picking producer, Avril Halley, our associate producer, Jess Cisneros, our engineer, Casey Holford, and guess what? Bringing it back while Scott's on paternity leave, Cody Fisher. Before we go, we had so many amazing second opinions from Sinbad of the Seven Seas that we couldn't just keep them all in the main episode. We're going to play you my favorites in the outro of this one. All right, we will see you next week for You Got Served.
Hi, my name's Katie. Now hush, little Jane, and hear the tale of Sinbad of the Seven Seas, who's setting out to defeat Jafar with the help of Prince Ali and the bald cook, the Viking warrior, the Chinese soldier of fortune, and best of all, little Poochie the dwarf. 5-star reviews online. It's second opinion time.
Yes! Great job.
Hi, my name is Dan. You don't know me, but I'm a reviewer.
Whoa.
I am logging on to Amazon.com. You telling me this movie's really shitty. I don't know, but I think it's really good to me. Second opinion. 5 stars all the way now. Yeah.
Yes!
Great.
All
That
right.
was delightful.
These are great. Where were you guys for the fucking question part?
Seriously. Woo!